that blends will include the least amount of the most expensive ingredient, right? Not always the case. There are certain exceptions to this, and I mentioned some blends that I like a few minutes ago that are for foundational nutrition, adaptogens, and probiotics. Athletic Greens, of course, just being one of several examples out there. But when it comes to, say, a sleep blend or a pre-workout blend, there are some decent products out there, but a lot of them tend to put in more of the least expensive ingredients and less of the ones that you're actively seeking. And so those tend to be, caffeine tends to be a kind of a buffer against the other things, meaning if you have pre-workout, putting caffeine in there isn't necessarily a bad thing. But if it has 5 other things in there, oftentimes what manufacturers will cheat on is the actual amount of the things that are costly. Yeah. So again, single ingredient formulations for 80% of your supplements, I think is really the way to go. And the other thing that I know is going to come up as we're talking about all these supplements is this issue of dependency. I often get this question, and when I solicit for questions on social media in anticipation of this episode, a number of people said, okay, so if you take a sleep formulation, do I need to take it every night? If I don't take it, will I have an incredibly hard time sleeping? If I take a pre-workout every time I train, will I need it? It's a great question. Some people will take supplement holidays, as they may be called, for a couple of days each week, back to back. Some people take them straight through. I myself take a sleep cocktail. We've described this. It's magnesium, theanine, and things. This is not one ingredient. These are multiple ingredients. In fact, precisely because some people who have sleep walking and vivid dream issues can't take theanine before bed. In any case, I've had times when I either forgot my supplements. That's rare, where I just didn't have what I needed, or just simply took a break for a night and it was not a problem. But in terms of pre-workout, I do think that people become dependent on being in that really ramped up state. But I don't think we view all this as like true dependency, like addiction.
Totally.
Right? I mean, I define addiction as a progressive narrowing of the things that bring you pleasure. So, I suppose people could get addicted to pre-workout, but it seems a little unlikely. More likely there would be a dependency such that if you didn't have your pre-workout, you might feel like, you're not motivated to train. So what are your thoughts on taking little holidays from supplements and varying the frequency of supplement intake, in particular as it relates to stimulants and fatigue reducers?
The end goal, anytime I coach somebody, is to get them into a physiological state in which they require no or close to no supplementation. That's the target. We should really be in a position to where our lifestyle, our sunlight exposure, our stress management, our physical activity, our sleep and our hydration, and our whole food nutrition provide us almost everything we need. Now, look, again, there are some foundational items that we can give people. We put together a little bundle actually for this, basic things that you can go look at. But that's the goal, right? So the target is to let your physiology run the guide. Your physiology is way smarter than we are. Even if I take a bunch of biomarkers from you, your physiology still knows better than those few markers can tell me. So that's always where we're ending up. I actually personally don't like people being in a position that they have to take a supplement for anything. So I don't like it if you have to take a supplement to have a good night of sleep. I don't like it if you have to have a supplement to train. We will use any of these stimulants very, very carefully